I'm back on my 5 fragrances kick. Now these are 5 fragrances that are class acts, gentleman fragrances. These aren't the panty dropper or the mass appealing. This is executive level sexiness. This is elite of elite. This is 2 3-button suits. Unless you wear the Steve Harvey joints with 48 buttons, that's up to you. These are sophisticated, gentlemanly fragrances that I have in my collection. Pretty much every characteristic in this fragrance is nothing that I have. Let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you onto these fragrances, because they are Sexy motherfucker. We're all alone. In case you cared, out of all your friends, I want to be Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. The first fragrance, I'm going to start off with the best fragrance that I have in my entire collection. The most memorable, the most important, the fragrance that I will never, ever, ever, even when it turns rancid, disgusting, will never get rid of. And the fragrance is none other than, by the House of Van Cleef & Arpels, Czar. Now, some of y'all are like, what? Why that out of everything that you have? Well, this fragrance is pretty much responsible for me even being here. This was a fragrance, a staple fragrance that my grandfather wore, who's the OG of fragrances in my life. So much so that I made him a promise that when he passed away, he would not go away, leaving this earth not smelling amazing. I made sure to spray his body with this fragrance itself. My old man, my matriarch, my soul did not leave this earth without smelling fantastic as he always did. So this fragrance is everything to me. Not only is it a sentimental component, but it's a fucking masterpiece of a gentlemanly fragrance, if I were to say so myself. It's got complexity. It doesn't have any sharp notes. Everything just feels so beautifully composed, and it's symphonic, like a harmony. Motherfuckers in the front doing this shit, composing the orchestra, making it just come off of you like the true gentleman that you are. Lavender, basil, bergamot, amber, green, fresh, beautiful, fougere, retro, but still has a timeless element about it that is amazing, even till this day. Not an easy fragrance to find, especially for the right price, because of the type of masterpiece that it is. Not just for me, but for a lot of people that know this 90s bomb, because it's just epic. So for me, this one is the best one in this or in all that other shit. Next one. Now, in continuing with the gentlemanly journey, this is another niche fragrance that I feel is super, super lovely, extremely wearable, and definitely for the refined individual that has two-tone hairs like myself, that composes himself with the utmost dignity, respect, and decorum. The fragrance is by MFK, and that's Masculine Puriel. Lavender Barbershop to the next level. Sweet lavender, yet crisp. Classical, but with a modernized twist. It's a little bit of a reinvented fashionable statement. Fashion just goes all the way around and resurrects itself in every fucking 5 to 10 years. It pops up. And I feel like this fragrance was one of those that just whipped around and came right to the top and made itself known, bringing a little bit of a James Dean element and old school gentlemanly vibe. If you the type of old school gentleman 50 and over who just walks around in a pure velour tracksuit and leather sandals with the X on it, I'm respecting you, because you smelling like this at the end of the day. Blast of leather, patchouli, hints of sandalwood, and of course the ever-present lavender. You can't help but deny this shit is a gentleman fragrance to the 20th power. Next one. This next fragrance for me is Richard Gere in a bottle. If you remember Pretty Woman, you remember Richard Gere. You wanted to be that multi-billionaire. And we're talking about the 80s, talking about billionaires. Popping out of that super stretch with that plush leather, trying to pick up the chick who's half naked and be selling her ass for a Lotus. It don't matter, because you still swaggy and the king at the top of the mountain. The fragrance is by Marc-Antoine Barrios, and that's Ganymede. I'm about to start climbing a fire escape and hoping like a little dykeman thought who just finished dancing at Starlets will give me the time of day after swimming in a bubble bath listening to Madonna. This joint is stupid. Oh my God, it's got this sweet little dirty suede vibe about it. Earthy graininess and just this beautiful masculine, mature vibe about this fragrance. That's a classical gem that I'm able to witness in the 21st century. This is the 21st, right? I don't even fucking, it's nuts. Slightly floral, citrus blast, has an old school vibe. It's not a lavender punch at all. It's more of a suede, leathery, bright, versatile, again, the Richard Gere of fragrances, the best way that I can put it. I've worn this a couple of times, and every time I worn it, it really brings a smile to my face because it's just so elegant. It's everything that I've always wanted to be, but just can't be that because I'm just a filthy pirate hooker. You know what the difference between a shrimp fork and a salad fork is. I didn't even know that was an option, bitch. If it had 3 teeth, I'm stabbing something with it. Ganymede is just gentlemanly sophistication to the next level. You want your entire head full of white hairs and don't need just for men? Ganymede is your shit. Next one. The next fragrance on this list is kind of a flex and a unicorn because not many people have it, and the ones who bagged it up when it was cheap as shit literally have a unicorn in their stash. The fragrance is another one by Van Cleef & Arpels. They're killing my list, and the fragrance is Midnight in Paris. The unicorn, bro. Sweet, incensey, galactica. Fucking just one of the most beautiful bottles in perfumery, in my opinion. Oh my God. It's like such a sweet, subtle iris flex in here. Lily of the Valley, tonka bean, incense, woody, leathery. This is another masterpiece by the House of Van Cleef & Arpels that came out, and I still can't believe that this shit at some point was like 20 to 30 bucks. Someone putting their house up for sale at the lowest possible value so they can just develop a bidding war and get it like 20x over. This is like making such a good investment in some gold back 40 years ago that right now you just chillin'. Performs outstanding on my skin. Has such a masculine characteristic about it that you just want to sit a group of young men down and lecture them on the thoughts of life and stocks and how to prepare for the future in a 401k. Although they're not listening or don't give 3 fucks, you sitting on heavy retirement because you knew what the future held. And in this fragrance, the future held damn near greatness. Next one. The last and certainly not least by the House of Obigont, and that's Cologne Intense. After acquiring this fragrance not too long ago and wearing it only twice, I really felt like every time I sprayed this on, I aged a little bit more. This is just an older gentleman, 45 plus. Instead of finding the fountain of youth, you found a way to age yourself a little fucking quicker and speed up time faster than Marty McFly in a time machine. Lavender and citrus bomb, but it's still very nice. You could still be a younger gentleman and wear this joint, but for me, it just smells like the older cat. The dude who sits in the corner or on the stoop playing dominoes, maybe with a little bit of a Corleone, and he's got his little sideburns poking out because he doesn't give a shit about a haircut. He's lived it. He's done it. Whatever you've done, he's done 3 times over. He was banging chicks out when the bush was popping. Like, it's that kind of fragrance. It's lit for the older gentleman. Complete sophistication and refinement out of this fragrance. And in smelling this, you just feel like Social Security is ready to knock on your door and start giving you benefits. You definitely gonna feel like you just stepped in grandpa's crib, and you know what? I'm not mad at it because this is about classy and sophistication, and most of our grandparents were real gentlemen, real men. These dudes had calluses on their hands, worked 9 to 5 and came home reeking, back pains, neck pains, didn't complain about shit, scrapes and cuts and gashes, sewn up their own shit, while us pussy motherfuckers typing on computers and shit and bitching about being canceled. These are men fragrances. These aren't soft motherfuckers like us. These are men's fragrances. Some of our grandparents were in the fucking fields picking shit while we're complaining about, oh my God, is this purified? This is tap? Ew, shut the fuck up. If you want to smell like a man's man, unzip your vagina and let your balls hang out, you get one of these fragrances. These are all ball sprays, and I'll see y'all motherfuckers next time. You know who it is, the most gentlemanly ungentleman you've ever met. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola start tag when it's time to call back. It's nonsense, you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.